Oh, my friends. Hey, nothing but... Hello, how are you, my friends? Welcome. Yo, I'm just joking. Welcome, my friends. Balkan Breakfast Season 3 episode. Pichkali Mumaichen, I think 12. If it's not 12, my friends, who gives a shit? At least we love each other. Spirit is uplifted. Positivity, my friends. Yatsa. Super. My friends, welcome. Today, it will be very interesting topic. We're going to talk about money flows from other continents towards EU. So today we're going to stick for EU only because, my friends, we need to understand in this season all the flows and all the dumps where the money are going into the European Union, how they're spreading it, who gets what, in order for season 4 to begin and think about how to do business. I told you, my friends, this channel was created to be brutally honest with you, and we're gonna share some ideas. Don't worry, my friends, I'm like your drunk uncle. I know everything. Super. Weather outside, shit. Don't go to Florida if you have money. Super. So, my friends, as I promised you in the previous season, today we're going to talk about how the money flows from other continents towards here, who gets what and how, and of course the solutions. Super. So, my friend, first of all, 2022, I made a list. Peche. Very good list. Super. My friends, 2022, QatarGate, right? You know what happened. MPs, shushki, suitcases, somewhere luxury with some Barbie dolls and blah, blah, blah. I don't have to tell you. You know what happened, my friend. But why? The question is why. The question is why, my friends. But the question is also, why not? Because they can, right? Qataris had some interesting offers. We're gonna talk about it. Don't worry. Then, my friends, I'm not gonna mention the countries. I really don't want to bother you. I'm just gonna do the guru stuff again now closer to the camera. Super. My friends, listen. From west and from east, most of the money are coming from the west and from the east. Doesn't matter which country. So, my friends, they're coming here through football clubs, through investments, through foreign spies, through banks, through mobile providers, internet providers, and so on and so on and so on. So basically, my friends, people from the other continents, they have a lot of money and they want to have, how can I say, infiltration here, because this continent is actually very powerful and very good. You understand? People are actually spending money. So, my friends, summa summarum, they're gonna fix your road or they're gonna build some factory, but for that you have to do something for them. You understand? That's how foreign money goes and flows. You understand? It's a really big problem, but it is what it is. From every country, especially, I also especially in the technology sector. Is in the car industry now, slowly but surely, influence comes from east, right? Technology sector, influence comes from the west. Simple as this. Super. So, my friends, not super, but super. I actually wrote it here in the list. How the EU money actually works. So, for example, my friends, the EU budget is the same for everybody. So, in European Union, right? So, money comes and but the EU budget is actually filled by who? By taxpayer, by contributions from the countries itself, right? Every country has to pay something for the EU budget. Super. So, my friends, usually in the pink world, where it goes? Agriculture, technology, green transitions, bailouts, military, and of course, I almost forgot, salary for Helga, Helmut, Sebastian, and Tobias. So they can eat better wurst, because their wurst that they're eating at the moment is not so good, so they need to eat more quality wurst. Pichku majčino, but it is what it is. So, my friends, it should go to these sectors, as I mentioned, agriculture, technology, infrastructure, and everything, but it goes, but then again, you go outside and you see your road is shit. You understand? Not in all the EU countries, but let's say these countries over here, Central Europe, shit. So, my friends, where actually the system breaks down, I'm going to explain to you. So, tax money, contributions, import on goods from other continents and blah, blah, blah. Everything goes to the budget, right? And they're spreading everything for the institution. So you see, my friends, nowadays, in European Union, believe it or not in all countries, bear in mind, this is very important, not in all countries, but in most of the countries now, the retirement system, for example, my friends, is slowly but surely not collapsing, but it's slowing down. Because if it was good, like it was when your grandparents were taking retirement, and your parents, and still if they're doing, from that time, my friends, you see the whole retirement system is an economic step. You understand? So it needs to have money, it needs to have contribution from the people who are working to pay for the people who are retired. Even though it's still happening to this day like that, you can see, my friends, that there is holes everywhere. So in the retirement system, then in the healthcare system, my friends, as I told you in the previous videos, hospitals are closing, for example, in Nuremberg, not all of them, but doesn't matter. Stuff is missing. A lot of medical stuff is missing in Czech Republic, for example, in the Balkans as well, and so on and so on and so on. You understand? It's a very big problem. And of course, my friends, I don't know for the quality of the medical products, to be honest with you. I'm not an expert in that. I cannot comment on that. Super. So you see, you have in the middle corrupt intermediaries. You have some fake consultant who is actually telling the prime ministers and these rulers of the European Union, you know, this triangle, how they should spread the money, to where, to who, to why, to So you see, my friends, people are misled because literally they will promise you some $1 billion project. You go outside, my friends, everything is the same. You go to your job, everything is the same. The taxes are just increasing, right? Now even the retirement age is increasing, and plus they're giving these programs where actually retired people can go back to work because we're missing people for work, because these motherfuckers are extremely smart, my friends, in European Union, locked behind the door, and they were extremely smart while they were playing chess. The whole continent is going to shit. Let's talk. Today we talk about European Union, but in general, doesn't matter. So my friends, you see, your salary is not moving. Yeah, I'm gonna continue, sorry. Your salary is not moving, my friend. Inflation is rising more than you can imagine, even though they will tell you, as I told you on TV, today, the 5%. My friend, I told you, always look behind the curtain. Opa. You will find the answer if you want to. If not, who gives a shit? But the inflation is not 5%. It's not 2%. It's not 6%. You understand? You have to calculate the real inflation. The real inflation is something totally different. So, my friends, you see, and of course, my friends, even though if they don't steal the money, let's say, for example, if they don't steal the money, even though they do, but let's say if they don't, my friends, a lot of money who are coming from everywhere are lost in some paperwork, in some consultant firms. Helga forgot to actually release the payment, and so on and so on and so on. You see, my friends, because the system in European Union is actually extremely complicated and complex, until something reaches to the normal people who actually have businesses and life to live and blah blah blah. Problem. Problem. But don't worry, we have solutions, bro. So, my friends, I wrote it here. Very interesting. Listen to this. When foreign money plus EU money collide together. So, my friends, as I told you, hello. As I told you, the problem is always behind the curtain. It's never in front of you. You understand? When the problem is behind the curtain, my friends, you have to look behind the curtain. In these times, as we're moving forward now, the problems will get even bigger because, my friends, we will talk about it in the next episodes, of course. The hole in every system is now just widening. It's not getting smaller. You understand? Because with these social measures that they're doing now, they're just covering something. But they're borrowing from somewhere so they can cover the hole. You understand? It's an imaginary money. Because the fresh money is something totally different, my friends. Money from profit, money from taxes, money from, I don't know, from investments. This is just imaginary money to actually put into the hole and just, no problem. No more hole. You understand? But in fact, if you do this to the carpet, you see, my friends, Bugs Bunny will come out. You understand? That's the problem. In every system, my friends. In the investment sector, in the IT sector, even in the IT sector, believe it or not. In the hospital, medical system, social system, retirement, everywhere, my friends. Everywhere. In my country, for example, right now, even though this is for European Union, doesn't matter, my friends, in my country, they still didn't release money for the disabled persons, bruh. Why? Because they don't have money. They close the fucking treasure, they don't have money, you understand? It's a very big problem. In European Union, it's not that accelerated because they have a lot more money and they can borrow. Plus, remember this, very important, my friends, who is the ones who are actually filling up the EU budget? Because the EU budget fills because of powers, right? Who is the power? My friends, France, Germany, Holland, that's it, right? I mean, the most richest one. And then the countries who don't have these big budgets and blah, blah, blah. You understand? But the countries who are not this big like this, France, doesn't matter. My friends, these countries are now, how can I say, a little bit stagnant. They're not going into shit because they're smart. You understand? I mean, they're not smart, but they're actually smartly positioning now the money. And plus, in these times, especially after 2020 when the thing was flying, my friends, you can see, especially since this time, money are coming literally from other continents like never before. And you can see it through investments. First of all, my friends, you can see the normal consumers in European Union in general, for some small shit, they're buying it from Temu, AliExpress, Shein, this stuff, doesn't matter. You understand? And now because this Helga, Helmut, Tobias, Sebastian, these motherfuckers, so that you're doing that, do you know what they're going to do starting 2026? I think summer 2026. Opa, you're going to have tax for that shit, for small packages. Epa, super. I told you, my friends, even though you're pretending that you're better than the Balkans, you're actually not. I swear to God, you're not. You just have more money and better systems. That's it. You understand? A very big problem. Super. My friends, I told you. Always the normal people are suffering. Always the local businesses are suffering. Always the people who are actually building these countries are suffering. Not Helga, Helmut, Tobias, these people. Not Brussels. I mean, European Union in Brussels. The Brussels city by itself is extremely beautiful. Doesn't matter. Even though now it went to shit with the doctors and engineers. That's for another topic. Super. So you see, my friends, what do you gain by this? What do you gain by this? Higher taxes. Public debt now is through the roof almost in every country, right? Stagnant salaries, unstable political system right now. Distrust in government, as we spoke a couple of videos ago. Infrastructure that never gets finished. I mentioned the highway Prague-Brno was built for, I don't know how many, for 15 years maybe. Can you imagine this? One highway, 200 kilometers, bre, for a country that is 20 years in European Union. I really don't understand. And you're saying, but we have democracy? Yes, no. Fuck you, you don't have democracy, you want shushki in the pocket. And when somebody asks you, take the shushki, you put here, opa, shishmish. You don't see it. That's the fucking problem. But, and of course, my friends, I almost forgot, really important. Now they actually brought you engineers and doctors from other continents who, I don't have opinion about the people because people are people, right? There are people who are running away from something really which is happening in their country, something shitty. I know because it was happening in my country. You understand? I know. I was there when Yugoslavia was breaking down. I know what happened. I know how people were dividing by social classes, by political parties and blah, blah, blah. Very bad shit. But doesn't matter. My friends, they're bringing you these people who are actually by culture, they're actually extremely different. They cannot accept the European culture. You understand? The European culture is something totally different. Only we can understand it. Because in this same continent, you have Germans, French, Slavic people, everything. Mixed up tribes. But they're from Europe. So the culture is pretty much plus minus same shit. You understand? These people who are coming from torn up countries, my friend, they cannot integrate into your system because they don't understand the system. That's it. They don't want to deal with Helga and Helmut. They want fast cash. Simple as this. But my friends, when the system is corrupted, you pay the bills. Simple as this. Super. So my friends, now we move to the solutions and we finish. I'm like your drunk uncle, my friends. Don't worry, I sit in kafana, I drink raki, and I have answers for everything. Super, even though I have 5 euros in my pocket. So my friends, first of all, what we need in European Union, and it's extremely funny because a Balkan guy is saying to you this. Imagine how you actually fucked up everything. Super. Super. We need full transparency. So we need public database of all donations. Very important. Then we need, my friends, real tracking of EU projects, what you do, how you do, timelines and these kind of things. And of course, really important, my friends, we need to end anonymous offshore ownership. You understand? We need these kind of things. Super. My friends, of course, the other thing is that really important. What the fuck is this? Sorry. The other thing, my friend, is that EU actually white anti-corruption force, right? An independent investigation body that will investigate, my friends, everybody who is in politics. You understand? Everybody. How you do, what you did, how you did it, where the money came from, which year, how, why, how many shushki you took in the pocket, and so on and so on. We need to do everything. Super. Then, my friend, what I would suggest is the digital tracking of every euro. But not digital tracking like you're doing with the EU wallet. Watch my episode, very good episode. My friends, no. Motherfuckers, I know you. Listen. Decentralized, on the blockchain. Simple as this. And we will track it. Don't worry. Like you can track who sends Bitcoin, from which address to which address is sent Bitcoin. We can track this. Don't worry. And of course, if somebody wants, he can check the address. If it comes from actually a legit EU company or if it comes from some Middle East company. You understand? I don't want to talk more. You understand? You're smart people. Super. Of course, the most important thing is the cutting out the middlemen. My friends, these consulting firms and these motherfuckers who are actually consultants about this, they don't know shit. They're just there because the law actually protects them, and we need somebody who is gonna tell the MP or the Prime Minister, or doesn't matter in these European countries, what is good and what is not. And this motherfucker is usually, or is usually really stupid. Understand? These consulting firms, my friends, are actually the one of the biggest problems in European Union. So we need. I don't need the middleman. Directly. Contact. Public. Everything is public. The people can actually see what you do. And simple as this. Super. Of course, really important. Restricting foreign state lobbying. Sorry. Restricting the foreign state. Like no more luxury gifts. No more expensive hotels in the Maldives. Maldives. No more going to Hawaii and swimming with the dolphins. You understand? When you work and you take salaries from the people, you motherfucker will go, for example, to Greece or to Italy for vacations. Because you don't deserve more than that, because all the countries in EU now are actually facing a really extremely big problem. Even though I'm gonna mention, sorry, we will finish and I will tell you. And of course, my friends, in some sectors, yes, I understand, even though I don't respect much Helga, Helmut, Tobias, Sebastian, these motherfuckers who are 85 and drafting everything, but I have to be honest, in some sectors, in some institutions, and in some countries in European Union, the salary needs to be a bit higher, because my friends, they're still stuck from the previous system, so I don't know, from the old era, and some actually institutions are stuck with like really low salaries, and people are demotivated, and of course they're gonna see a way how to gain more shushki. So you see, my friends, if you raise the salary and if you raise the bonuses, if you have these kind of things, even though I'm really against it, my friends, they're not gonna steal shushki. You understand? They're not gonna steal shushki. And of course, my friends, of course, everything needs to be public. Everything needs to be easily accessible for us to see what the fuck is that you are doing. And stop with these bullshitting agendas about everything. My friend, we are not doing the damage to this world. Just a small percentage. We are not bad people. You understand? We just have bad actors. In this continent, in European Union, in general, my friends, in this continent, only we have bad actors. People who are acting really bad, and they're just extremely corrupted, and they're extremely stupid, and they're stuck in the old system, bruh. That's the problem. That's the problem. You understand? Everybody is stuck in the old system. My friends, you don't know shit. I told you in the previous video, we need also engineers and we need also doctors in the government, my friend. Not everybody has to be coming from the, faculty of law, an expert only in law, but he is also expert in IT, in AI and everything. And plus, I'm going to suggest one more thing. Even though now we are building these European Union AI models, my friends, we can actually use them so we can see what you're doing. We will include the AI, but you should include the AI in the governments and in the parliament and so on, so we can actually track what you're doing, because you're doing really bad shit. You understand? And we know. Super. My friends, summa summarum, that's it. I don't want to bother you and make this video for very long, but remember, one more sentence and we finish. We have a lot of money, because a lot of money comes from every continent now here, for lobbying, for influence, for blah, blah, blah. That's why you're actually just the consumers. You understand? We're consuming foreign products, because European products are mostly destroyed. The ones that are remaining and actually are good are the cars and the food. Everything else, my friends, what we use is from the west or from the east. Let's be honest. You understand? And plus, my friends, you can, if you want, boost the fertility in this continent and in European Union, in European Union and this continent in general, only if you listen to the young people. That's why nobody wants to have kids right now, and that's why your population is stagnant or declining. It's mostly declining, let's be honest, but that's why. Because you don't listen to the young people, what they want, what they need. My friends, you should open the door from this parliament in Brussels and exit and see and talk with the normal people. They will tell you what they want. You understand? Not just find money for feeding the people who are not working and who are not paying taxes. You know who. And of course, if you take money from the other continents, my friends, let it be something for the public. You don't have to take everything in your pocket, bruh. Don't worry, the European people, they have money, they will spend on your products. Don't worry. And if the product is spying on you, and if the product is actually poisoning you, that's for another video. My friends, I love you very much. Remember, this is raw, Balkan, and honest. No edits, nothing. Even if I make mistakes, my friends, I include them in this video so you can enjoy it. Remember, this show is like you and me sitting in kafana, drinking and talking. Because I'm your drunk uncle and I know everything. I love you very much. Please subscribe and like. It will mean a lot to me. And see you very soon into the next video, which will be about the money flows from European Union and other continents into the Balkans and Eastern Europe. Very good video. Until then, pici cu maicinu. Ciao!